What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of NBA action here on Tuesday, January 21st. We're going to break down every NBA game tonight and look at bets on the side and over-under, and make sure to check that pinned comment throughout the day to see if there are any changes as injury news and player availability is confirmed. In terms of a recap, guys, we actually did pretty freaking mediocre out there. We ended up 1-3 on the day. Some tough games out there. Atlanta plus 6.5. Trae Young rimmed out a three very late in that game that could have resulted in a cover for us, but unfortunately that didn't happen. We also had the Suns plus 7.5. They completely flopped out there. We are done with those bums. Boston minus 10, one of the biggest locks of the season. That felt like I should have really put that as a big bet play, but we'll still take an easy win on that one. We also had the Clippers minus 5.5. Chicago, a team that is terrible against the spread, playing on no rest, ends up getting the straight up win. So good job by Chicago. Guys, I have a very unhappy assistant here right now. I don't think he's happy with how loud I'm talking, but he's going to help us bounce back a little bit from this, kind of rocky day out there on Monday. In terms of our premium picks yesterday, though, we went absolutely nuts out there over at stumpthespread.com. We went, I can't even remember, guys. We're going to read them off right now. Ohio State minus 8. That was a win. The New York Islanders, obviously I know nothing about NHL, as I've told any of you that have asked, but we had a 5-unit play on them. They cashed that one. We had the Long Island Sharks there in NCAA basketball action. They were easily able to cover that 7.5. We had NC Wilmington, guys, minus 6 in college basketball as well. That was another win. We had the St. Louis Blues. They came through for a win. We had the Toronto Maple Leafs. They came through for us as well. McNeese State there in college basketball. We didn't love having to take them at minus 15, but we thought there was good value there, and it came through as well. We also had a win on the Celtics minus 10. That was a premium pick as well, but then that tough loss on the Clippers to ruin what could have been a perfect day out there. So very good stuff across the board. We will certainly take it, guys. Please do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up button. The little guy would really appreciate it. Mom needed a little bit of extra rest, so we'll see. He may not make it through the whole video. You may hear him chirping a little bit now and then, but I think that's going to be okay. He's going to be a big part of everything here moving forward. Oh, look, we're looking at the camera. There we go. So, guys, do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I really, really appreciate it. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today. Obviously, like I was just talking about, guys, all of our videos are sponsored by stumpthespread.com. We have, a team of experienced cappers over there covering all the major sports, and things have been going great. There's a link down in the description if you're interested in signing up. We have premium picks, obviously, but we also have free content over there and a free email list you should get on if you want to get, updates on our results and, the occasional free or maybe even a premium pick straight to your inbox. Now, guys, let's go ahead and, hop into this, not huge NBA slate. As always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's look at our first game of the day here. We've got the New York Knicks going on the road to take on the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks come into this game playing on no rest, guys. They got that win against a pretty big win for them against a team that's bothered them a lot in the Atlanta Hawks. A 119-110 win. Brunson scoring 34 points. He looked pretty good out there. He was getting some whistles and stuff like that, but got to give the guy credit where credit is due. The Knicks also got a great shooting game out of Mikal Bridges. Not something you can count on every night, but he's been playing a lot better recently. 12 of 17 from the field for him, so very, very good stuff there. Just a good game from them across the, a whole team. Basically a decent night out there from the bench as well. That's also not something you see every day from the Knicks. So we'll see if they can back it up here, guys. They, come into this game about to face their crosstown rivals in the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks, the injury report might not be super up to date. Right now it looks like there's nobody on there. So effectively they're going to be fully healthy for this game. I don't know if I 100% believe that. So definitely stay, tuned into that pinned comment. It is a back-to-back situation for the Knicks. So we'll just have to wait and see here. Looking at their opponent in this game, the Brooklyn Nets come into this one losers of their last 3 in a row. They just got blown out by 26 points by the Thunder. They played a close game against the Lakers, so congratulations for that after, getting nearly doubled up there by the Clippers, or actually, yeah, doubled up. Just crazy, crazy stuff there. They lost that game 126-67. So this Nets team taking things out awfully hard. They're a terrible, terrible squad. They're holding guys out for little to no reason. We're just seeing all kinds of craziness with this roster, guys. Right now, Ben Simmons listed as day-to-day. Cam Thomas listed as out. Zaire Williams listed as out. Yeah, they're tanking, guys. They're tanking real hard. Ben Simmons with an illness, he's questionable. I don't care if he plays or not. Cam Thomas, he is dealing with that hamstring. He's not going to play in this game. They're trying to lose on purpose, and he's probably their best player. and Zaire Williams, guys, he's been ruled out due to left ankle sprain. So not going to be a full strength, team there for the Nets at all. The Nets are getting 10.5 points in this one. We've got a total of 220.5. The Knicks are 11-11 against spread on the road. They are 12-14-1 against spread after a win. They're also 13-8-1 to the over when playing on the road. The Nets are only 6-11 against spread at home. They're 5-12-1 against spread after a loss, but that's a number that's been tanking aggressively ever since they, got unhealthy or, started tanking aggressively and started trading people. They're also a slight under team when playing at home. So, guys, this is a pretty easy spot in my opinion. I'm not expecting big things from the Nets here as they continue to try and lose on purpose. Go ahead and give me the Knicks to get the win and cover here. Is this a play that's going to go in the pinned comment? Honestly, on this day, guys, with almost every game having a double-digit spread out there, I would say it's at least got something of a chance. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Portland Trailblazers going on the road to take on the Miami Heat. The Trailblazers come into this game fresh off a 113-102 win there over the Chicago Bulls. So good stuff there from Portland. Not something you see from them every day, guys. A big day from Zach LaVine for sure for the Bulls, but we saw Scoot Henderson come out and have one of his best games as a pro, guys. 38 minutes it took him to get him, but he had 25 points. 3 of 8 from 3, 8 of 15 from the field, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. He did have 4 turnovers in the game, was a plus 10. Really played great out there. Shadian Sharp was also nuts off the bench with 23 points. Good stuff there, from Denny Adjava. He played well, and Jeremy Grant coming back definitely gives this team a significant boost. So we'll see what the Blazers look like here going forward. Obviously not a team that's really actively trying to win, but definitely a team that could be trying to showcase some guys before the trade deadline here. We see Anthony Simons. He comes into this game listed as day-to-day. He's dealing with that elbow issue. He's questionable for this one. He hasn't played since back on the 18th, so it's not like he's been out for a long time, but we really don't have a ton of clarity on his availability here. We also see, no other major injury news. I mean, Donovan Clingan, he's out. Robert Williams III, he's listed as day-to-day, so yeah, not going to be necessarily 100% here, for the Portland Trailblazers, but I think they're, trending in a decent direction here as they, head towards the trade deadline and look to, boost the value of some guys. Like, they would probably love to trade Jeremy Grant for a bunch of draft picks or something that in, a similar fashion to that. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road to take on the Heat, who are 21-20 on the season, fresh off a 128-107 win there over the Spurs. We saw Kel'el Ware go nuts, 25 points there. Very good day from him. The rookie playing great. Duncan Robinson had 21 points. So good stuff there from Miami across the board. It's going to be an interesting situation there for them if they can't figure out a way to trade Jimmy Butler. He didn't look great, guys. He didn't look terrible, but he didn't look great. He came back, he played, he was a plus 19, had 8 points, was 3 of 7 from the field in his 28 minutes. They didn't play very many guys, very many minutes in this game. It, was, I don't know. They just didn't play very many guys. They got a nice, they outscored San Antonio 26-11 in the second quarter, then 46-27 in the third quarter. So they were able to coast in this game, getting that blowout win. We'll see what happens when things, get really into crunch time down the stretch. Terry Rozier was great off the bench as well, so definitely seeing some positive things here for the Heat. It's just going to be a kind of messy situation, it feels like to me. Coming into this game, guys, they're looking very, very healthy, though. Bam's back. Jimmy's playing. Is he really playing? I don't know. It seems a little bit sketchy to me, but this team seems like they're kind of figuring out a way to, get their act together, and maybe they're going to be okay here down the stretch. And looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Heat are 10.5-point favorites. We got another double-digit spread here. We got a total of 220. Portland 11-9-1 against spread on the road, 6-6-1 against spread after a win. They're 13-7-1 to the under on the road. The Heat are 9-10 against spread at home, 7-13 against the spread against spread after a win, though. So that is a pretty bleak prospect there. They're also 12-7 to the over at home. So there's a couple of plays that make some sense to me in this one, guys. And the first one is taking those Portland Trailblazers and the points. The Heat are in a letdown spot after that huge win, so don't necessarily love that for them. And yeah, also they're just not very good coming off a win. They've also got Jimmy Butler out there maybe trying to sabotage them. We'll see what actually goes on with that. But I do think you want to be on the Blazers and the points. I also think there's a good amount of reason to be on the under in this game as well. Just not a huge number out there, so that's a bit concerning. My bigger lean in this game definitely going to be the Blazers plus 10.5. Next on the docket, guys, we are looking at the Orlando Magic going on the road to take on the Toronto Raptors. The The Magic come into this game losers of their last 3 in a row, but losing against the Nuggets, Celtics, and Bucks doesn't really look that terrible, especially when this team has been so ravaged by injuries. In their 113-100 loss there against Denver, guys, we didn't even really see the full strength Magic in that game. I mean, Paolo did play. He had a rough time out there, only 10 points, 4 of 17 from the field. The dude's got to kind of work his way back. Like, he had a torn oblique. Like, he hasn't played that much basketball. It's been pretty rough. Really, nobody could throw it in the ocean there for Orlando in that game. They shot only 12 of 41 from 3. They didn't get to the line a ton. A very generous whistle was given to Denver in that game. So, yeah, just a rough outing there for Orlando. They're definitely going to be wanting to, forget about that one, bounce back, get back out there, and find some positives, because this team, guys, it's just been brutal, the injuries they've dealt with this season. I mean, coming into this game, we Jalen Suggs is listed as out, and he's not the only starter there that's probably going to miss this game. Orlando's going to be without their starting center, and not till they get Suggs back are we really going to be able to see if this team is going to have a chance, even before, to get decent before Franz Wagner comes back. We don't even know necessarily when that's going to be, so we'll see. It is a bounce back spot for them, though, here as they go on the road to take on the Toronto Raptors, who come into this game only 10-32 on the season. They did manage to win a game against the Celtics, which is pretty bonkers stuff. They beat the Warriors, which isn't nearly as impressive these days, but they did finally have that letdown. They got blown out there at Milwaukee, so we'll see what they can do here back at home against interesting Magic team. Definitely not a full strength Magic team, but an interesting Magic team nonetheless. In that blowout loss there against the Milwaukee Bucks, Scotty Barnes only had 10 points. I'm not so sure about building a franchise around Scotty Barnes like Toronto's trying to do, but we'll see what goes on with him down the stretch. Had some contributions from the bench, but overall they just shot the ball really poorly from 3, only 8 of 34 from long distance. We didn't see anybody. I mean, I guess RJ Barrett had a decent game, 21 points, fairly efficient shooting. We didn't love what we saw from them on the boards necessarily, but they kept things even, so I guess I can't complain too much, but just not a very good game. Looking at the injury report here for Toronto, obviously a team that's, fairly actively tanking. We see Emmanuel Quickly on there. Those are the main ones. Chris Boucher on there also isn't ideal, but we're officially not going to see Quickly playing in this game. Another guy that I think could possibly be slightly overrated. So we'll see what goes on there, guys. Looking at the numbers for this game, Toronto getting 2.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 215.5. Orlando 9-13 against spread on the road, 8-11-1 against spread after a loss. They're 12-10 to the under on the road. Toronto 14-7-1 against spread at home, 18-12-1 against spread after a loss. They are 13-9 to the over at home. But guys, I am not taking the Toronto Raptors in this spot. We've got a very motivated Orlando team here in a big bounce back spot. They've got some pieces. I love Anthony Black. I love Cole Anthony. I love me some Paolo Banchero, even Tristan da Silva. KCP, he's played well at times this season. I think we're going to see a nice bounce back game for Orlando here. They need these wins. They actually want these wins. I think they're going to go out there and get it, winning this game comfortably by, probably 10 or more if I'm being honest. So definitely give me the Orlando Magic in this one. This is a play that's definitely going in the pinned comment. Next up, we're looking at the Philadelphia 76ers going on the road to take on the Denver Nuggets. The 76ers come into this game riding a lengthy losing streak. They lost 6 in a row now. Things just continue to be a disaster there. I mean, they just got blown out at Milwaukee. They lost that game 123-109. Things are getting real freaking dark, guys. Real freaking dark there for the 76ers. Not a lot of positives to point to right now. Tyrese Maxey not exactly having the season they imagined. Obviously, picking up Paul George has not gone great either, and the continued saga there with Joel Embiid, who is currently listed as out for this game. Who is shocked that Joel Embiid won't be playing? Don't worry, guys. He's going to have his left knee reevaluated in 7 to 10 days due to swelling. So I'm sure they'll find some cure for him in there. No problem there. I'm sure, right? He's only missed the last 17 days. I'm sure just, a little bit of reevaluation. He'll be fine. He's going to start playing basketball again. Don't you worry. Yeah, we're not going to see Embiid anytime soon. And if we do, we'll see him for a couple games. He'll be gone again. We also see Paul George on the injury report. We see Caleb Martin on the injury report. We see Kyle Lowry listed as out. Yabusele is day-to-day. Andre Drummond is also listed as day-to-day. Let's dive in and see if these guys are actually going to play. Paul George, dealing with his groin, is questionable for this game. The last time he played was on the 15th against the Knicks. Sounds like he's definitely a heavy possibility to miss this game. He'll need to see if we can get him through shoot around to see if he'll get a suit up in this game, but seems unlikely to me. Caleb Martin, somebody who might actually, try and play through some stuff. It sounds like he's not going to be able to. That hip injury is pretty serious. He's officially out. Yabusele, questionable with that knee issue. Obviously, a guy that relies a lot on his explosiveness. They're going to need him to play, but if he can't play through this injury, it's going to be real wild out there, for this team at center. So that's not looking great. And Andre Drummond with his toe issue, he's questionable for this game as well. So not looking ideal there for the 76ers as they're going on the road here to take on the Denver Nuggets, who are 26-16 on the year. They've won their last 2 in a row and 6 of their last 7. This is a team that was getting talked about a whole bunch when they were losing. All of a sudden they turn it around, they're winning a bunch of games. I'm not hearing very much here about the Denver Nuggets, who've been playing great, and they're 13.5-point favorites in this game for a reason. It's because they've been killing it recently. They're coming off a 113-100 win there against the Orlando Magic. Jokic didn't even have to do that much in this game, but it has to feel great for him when he can have a game where he scores only 20 points, posts a triple-double, and posts a plus 20 out there. Christian Brown was actually a plus 22 and scored 20 points of his own. Not something you see every night. We're loving what we're seeing from Russell Westbrook here on the Nuggets. He only had 12 points in the game, but didn't need to go nuts, and they just played really well. Got a comfortable win despite shooting only 28% from three-point range. They absolutely dominated the boards here against, the undermanned Orlando Magic. So loving what we're seeing from Denver in the recent days, and loving what we're seeing on their injury report pretty much. We do see Jamal Murray there on the injury list, but other than that, it's looking very good, and he's probable for this game. So it seems like we're going to have basically a full-strength Denver Nuggets team out there. So a lot of good news here for Denver. The bad news is they're big favorites, guys. They're 13.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 229.5. The 76ers only 9-12-1 against spread on the road. They're 8-16-1 against spread after a loss, and they're a significant over team on the road. So the over-under might be something we look at in this game, but it's getting a little bit sketchy with so many guys likely out there for the 76ers. Denver, they're 9-10-1 against spread at home, 9-7 against spread coming off of a decent win there, and they're 13-7 to the over at home. So both teams showing trends towards the over. I am a little bit worried about it. It's not going to go in the pinned comment because of all those guys missing there for the 76ers, but you could talk me into the over in this game. You could also talk me into the Denver Nuggets here at minus 13.5, but with such a big number and injury concerns there, with not too much clarity for the 76ers, if we knew every one of these questionable guys was going to sit out, definitely go ahead and give me the Nuggets. They probably win by 20 against the 76ers like C team, but without more clarity, I don't think we really have too many interesting spots to go in this one. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the Washington Wizards going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Lakers. The Wizards come into this game, shocker of the century, fresh off of another loss. This team is going to be maybe not historically bad, but real freaking bad, guys. They've lost their last 10 in a row. They just lost by 23 against Sacramento Kings, so not a lot of positive stuff for Washington right now. They are relatively healthy coming into this game. Obviously, no Malcolm Brogdon, but other than that, we see Poole and Kuzma and Alex Sarr. Sarr are going to play in this game, so they're looking kind of healthy out there. We'll see what they actually make out of that. My guess would be very little. They are going on the road to take on the Lakers, a team that, we'll see what we get out of the Lakers this season in general. It's kind of a weird situation for them. It feels like on a nightly basis. They're coming off a 116-102 loss there against the Clippers, so that's obviously not great. Look at their injury report. Obviously, we always see LeBron and AD on there, but they're always very much likely to play. So pretty much expecting the Lakers to be at full strength, and so are the odds makers because they're 12.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 229.5 out there. Washington 6-10-2 against spread on the road, 14-18-2 against spread after a loss, and 9-9 to the over/under on the road. The Lakers 11-9 against spread at home, 8-9 against spread after a loss, and 10-10 to the over/under at home. Guys, give me the Lakers, and this one is a small lean. I think there's a chance they, use this as a big stepping stone to show off and show they can beat a team like the Wizards. Whoopee freaking do. I'm not going to be too excited about that, but still, I think there's a good shot that they win this game. Guys, that's all the games we have for today. I got to run and take care of this baby. Do me a big favor, hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. For sure, get over to stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list. Get signed up for our premium picks if you have any interest in that. They have been red hot lately. We put in a ton of work on those on a nightly basis, and you get access to an entire team of people covering all the major sports. So it's a great value. Definitely want to check it out. We will see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action.